morning, everyone. My name is Maria Briones, and I'm a member of ACE in the 8th District, a lifelong Angeleno, and supporter of ULA from the very beginning. I knocked on hundreds of doors last fall to get ULA passed. I also attended every ULA engagement opportunity from the Citizens Oversight Committee to the Homeless and Housing Committee, Budget and Finance Committee, and a few weeks ago, I was a part of the town hall with the mayor. I am standing here today as an anti-risk tenant, disabled senior citizen, and person who will directly benefit from ULA being successfully implemented. I am unhoused, and I had a promise from ULA that I was going to have a house, and this is what's going to give me my house. This is what's going to give me my place. Every program to me matters. From the tenants anti-harassment funding and alternative models in social housing, I am the environment of the average Angeleno tenant. I had been living in my unit with no electricity for 2 weeks. I have lived through a hurricane, heat waves, and many nights without light. I found good, no food, no fridge, and to insult to injury, I had been harassed, but I was harassed by the landlord. I had been called names, chased, and treated like not a human being, more like an animal probably. I say all this because although I have lived the injustice, I'm still standing here and I'm still fighting for social housing for the hundreds of thousands of people in the same position as I am. I am fighting for a better Los Angeles. I am fighting so that over $11 million for Tahoe funding gets implemented without any more political games. In my neighborhood, tenant harassment is one of the biggest forms of violence and crimes. If we want a peaceful city, we must protect the majority, and the majority are tenants. I beg to move forward with all ULA's interim expenditure plan and interim program guidelines as it is. Tenants are dying, and we need Tahoe fully implemented and funded now. Why is it that police get an additional $1 billion without question, but tenants like myself have to advocate, have to beg, have to knock on doors to get just a piece of a slice of the pie? I don't think that is fair. We are human beings, we have rights, and we have the power because we are here together fighting for what is right, fighting what we are owed as a hard-working people. Tenants contribute to this city in many ways, and all we want is to be heard. Pass the ULA expenditure plan now. Now, welcome today. We celebrate a big moment for Los Angeles and the Measure ULA. The United to House LA Coalition began envisioning Measure ULA starting back in 2019 to raise major funding to protect tenants and expand affordable housing. Now, a year and a half in, we're celebrating early wins and the launch of permanent programs that will magnify ULA's impact. We'll be hearing from tenants who have benefited from ULA's first programs. We'll hear from United to House LA Coalition members and leaders from the ULA Citizens Oversight Committee. Also joining us are members of the City Council who will be passing a historic package of ULA programs and funding now. To get us started, let's welcome the Director of the United to House LA Coalition, Joe Dunlin.
Thank you. I'm going to make myself available after the event. I'm actually going to pass the mic now to Laura Raymond from ACT LA.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name's Laura Raymond. I'm the director of ACT LA, and I'm a member of the ULA Citizens Oversight Committee. When Los Angeles voters passed Measure ULA in 2022, they required the city to set up a Citizens Oversight Committee, or the COC. The COC was tasked with writing the program guidelines that are going before City Council today. Over the last year, the COC led an intensive process that involved working with housing experts and service providers across the city to design the 11 program areas in the measure. As someone who served on the COC's Program Guidelines Committee and participated in dozens of these meetings, I'm proud to report today that Measure ULA continues to be community-led. Measure ULA implementation is a true partnership between community leaders, city staff, and the COC. This is so important for us to get right because we know the expertise and experience in LA's tenant rights organizations and affordable housing providers. The COC will continue to learn from on-the-ground practitioners as we deploy and adjust these programs moving forward. There's much to celebrate today with these ULA program guidelines officially being voted on. I want to especially bring everyone's attention to the fact that with this vote today, LA is officially launching a social housing program for the city of Los Angeles. Yes. Social housing is a modern approach to living in California that's resident-run and permanently affordable to all income levels. As a renter, I know how frustrating it is for your own home to be treated as just a way for your landlord to make the most profit, rather than first and foremost a home. We're going to change this for LA. Social housing will bring residents the chance to collectively own and govern our own housing. This model has been successful in cities around the world, and now LA is going to lead the way for the United States. Lastly, I want to say it's fitting that the City Council is also hearing the rezoning ordinances today at the same meeting as the ULA guidelines. Through them, there's an opportunity to build affordable housing across the city, including in areas currently off limits, and reduce the displacement that can sometimes occur through development. Through adopting these guidelines and also through rezoning the city has a profound opportunity to address the housing crisis and reduce inequity. Thanks to everyone here for all the work that's gone into getting us to this moment. And next, I want to introduce Councilmember Hugo Soto-Martinez.
Thank you so much, Laura, for your great comments. Also for María, gracias por sus comentarios. Todo lo que dice ella es cierto y es algo que tenemos que cambiar aquí en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. I also want to thank Joe and the entire United to House LA team for their amazing work on doing all of this. The Citizens Oversight Committee for working diligently and putting this together in front of our council today. And of course, to one of my favorite alliances here today, which is a labor tenant alliance that I believe is shaking up the city, and ULA is just one example of how when those two forces come together, we can do something that truly, truly helps working people. And so I want to give all y'all a round of applause for coming together and doing some transformative change in the city of Los Angeles. Because we know the Measure ULA has the potential to be the most transformative policy to solve homelessness and make housing more affordable in the city of Los Angeles. Because we know people who are working on this every single day today know what we are grappling with. We know our neighbors, our friends, our family members that are spending 90%, 70%, half of their income on rent. We know their stories of how they are struggling and how they are one paycheck away from homelessness. And that is because housing is too damn expensive. And so we're going to change this city that's more holistic for workers and tenants. We have to make sure that we pass things like ULA, and not only passing things like ULA, but what Laura just said, making social housing that is permanently affordable forever and that is run by the tenants. That is the vision that we are striving for, but we know we got a lot of work to get there. But in over a year, Measure ULA has provided emergency rental assistance to 11,000 residents, making sure that they stay in their homes. That's 11,000 people. And so it's no wonder that for the first time in 6 years, homelessness has dropped. And I believe this is part of a reason that is happening. At the same time, it's created 10,000 good paying union jobs. Now, as someone who comes from the labor movement, I know there's nothing more transformative than having a union job. When my mom got a union job after becoming street vendors for a long time, that stabilized our family, that gave us access to good health insurance, and we have much more stability. My mom didn't have to work 2-3 jobs just to provide for the family. So we know this is a great thing what ULA is doing. But we know we're going to have a lot of naysayers. Who's going to be the naysayers? Who do you think is going to be against this? Who's going to continue to be against this? The corporate landlords, the California Apartment Association, the Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles, they're going to continue to fearmonger and say that this is bad policy, this is not good for the Los Angeles. But do we believe them?
No.
Absolutely not. We know that this is something that is going to be good for Angelenos, good for the city. And so we'll continue to keep pushing these kinds of policies because we don't have a choice, my friends. We don't have a choice. The city is facing too much crisis. And so we have to act with the sense of urgency that this requires. And this coalition is acting with a sense of urgency. So I want to thank again one more time this amazing coalition that is bringing tenants and unions together to make real transformative change for the working people of Los Angeles. So thank you so much, and thank you for having me here.
Next is Alan Chang.
Good morning. My name is Alan Chung. As an apprentice electrician with IBW Local 11, I've built projects all over Los Angeles, including the YouTube Theater, Intuit Dome, LAX, and various LAUSD schools, such as Clinton Middle School and 68th Street Elementary School. I'm proud to join 160,000 union members of the Building and Construction Trades Union, to support Measure ULA. Measure ULA is now funding almost 1,000 affordable homes in LA. That's generating 10,000 construction jobs. These good jobs are going directly to LA City and LA County residents like myself. I'm grateful to IBW Local 11 for giving me a chance at a new career and a new direction in my life. I learned valuable skills both on the job and at school because of our world-class apprenticeship program. I also may not have been here today were it not for union health insurance benefits. Because of our outstanding coverage, I was able to receive life-saving surgery with zero out-of-pocket costs. A good union job should be available to any Angeleno, just like an affordable home. With Measure ULA, we get both. So at IBW Local 11, we say yes on ULA. Yeah. Thank you, and now I'd like to introduce Leilani Reed.
Good morning, family.
Good morning.
My name is Leilani Reed, and I am a caregiver and proud member of SEIU Local 2015, the Long-Term Caregivers Union that represent 500,000 IHSS and nursing home workers across the state. We are proud to bring life and dignity to the most vulnerable of our communities, the elderly and the disabled. We believe that working people should not fear of falling into homelessness. ULA has raised $500 million already. These programs' guidelines are the blueprint to make sure those dollars are spent as voters intended, and to ensure there are housing solutions for all Angelenos. I urge you today to continue funding the People's Choice in Measure ULA. And now I would like to introduce Greg Good from the Housing Department.
All right, good morning, folks.
Good morning.
Great morning, actually. I assume somebody here is fired up? Yeah. Estuardo will get you fired up if you need. My name's Greg Good. I'm the Director of Strategic Engagement and Policy at the LA Housing Department, and I could not be more excited to be with y'all here this morning. I'm excited because of what we anticipate will happen in this building here today. Passage of the United to House LA Permanent Program Guidelines and the fiscal year 24-25 expenditure plan. This is a monumental achievement and milestone in this work. In real terms, these guidelines will create programs that will drive the development and ownership of affordable housing in perpetuity in the city of Los Angeles. Innovative, alternative models, traditional models, social housing, small and large models, all affordable, almost all visioned to have tenant leadership, tenant engagement, and potentially tenant ownership, and all being built by union workers with career path jobs. Meanwhile, while the building and the buying is happening, these guidelines and these programs will also help to stem the tide of homelessness in our great city. It'll do so by providing income assistance. It'll do so by providing tenant education. It'll do so by providing eviction defense. It'll do so by protecting tenants from harassment. Importantly, these guidelines are also a reflection of a collaboration led by the Citizen Oversight Committee between the city and the community that is unprecedented. The ULA Coalition, the LA Housing Department, the COC, the City Council, the Mayor, a host of stakeholders, and yes, the United to House LA Coalition, and everybody should give a round there. Worked relentlessly, not always easily, but respectfully, and ultimately productively to get these things done for Angelenos, to get these things done with a vision of ending homelessness and making housing affordable forever in our great city. So on behalf of the LA Housing Department, thank you to Michelle Coulter, Laura Raymond, and the entire Citizen Oversight Committee. Thank you to Cecilia Estelano and the Interim Inspector General team. Thank you to all the folks at LAHD. I'm going to give a special shout out to Callie Hardy and Edwin Sun. Thank you to the City Council. Thank you to the Mayor. And thank you to everyone here. And thank you, finally, to the United House LA Coalition and the voters of Los Angeles, almost 60% of whom voted for this and supported this, for challenging the city to shake its snow globe, for being partners with us, and for getting these things done. Thank you all. Thank you, Maria.
I want to thank everybody who showed up today. This is a very important step, as Greg just said. This is going to be a major stone as far as working on housing affordable for everyone. And to me, it's just a miracle that I had been waiting so long to happen. Why? Because I struggle financially. I struggle to make this happen, but I didn't care. I was in the hospital last night, but I didn't care because I knew that I had to be here. Because this, like I said, this is a big miracle for us, for all the ones who cannot afford affordable housing. Now we're gonna have it. Thanks to all. Have a blessed day. When we fight,
We win.
when we fight,
We win.
when we fight,
We win.